Today we're going to be looking at the new Seeker 3 Pro, which is a brand new light from Olight. It's the successor to the Seeker 2 Pro. Now, one of the things I first noticed about the Seeker 3 Pro when it arrived was that at least the box appears to be somewhat smaller than its predecessor. So if you notice, here's the Seeker 2 Pro. And just to compare some of the stats from the Seeker 2 to the Seeker 3, the Seeker 2 and the Seeker 3 have the same amount of throw, but the Seeker 3 has significantly more lumens than its predecessor. Now, the Seeker 3 Pro may look a lot like the Seeker 2, but it has one major difference, and that is the inclusion of a rotary dial, which functions like a dimmer switch. So let's go ahead and open her up. As you can see, it's got the magnetic opening, as it often does. As the now, if we just remove this yellow tab here. Okay, so one of the things that the Seeker 2 Pro came with that this doesn't appear to come with is the L dock, which allows you to mount it to a wall. But I mean, I didn't really use that anyways. So let's just go ahead and take this out. Comes in a very similar holster to the Seeker 2 Pro. Okay, so one of the things that they did with this model is they put a random letter here. So I got the letter T. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that right there. It's the letter T. Another one of the upgrades that comes with the Seeker 3 Pro is the fact that it's got a proximity sensor. If you can see, there's a little hole at the top, and it has 4 LEDs instead of only 3. And as I said earlier, the main difference, or the biggest difference, is the use of this rotary switch, which is like a dimmer switch. So you can control like almost an infinite amount of brightness levels. So right now, let's go ahead and open it up, and I'll show you the inside, the battery and whatnot. Just got to remove this yellow film. Okay. So this is interesting. So the positive side is actually toward the tail cap and not the head. It's one of the things I'm noticing just now. It's a 5,000 milliamp, 21700, very similar to the Seeker 2 Pro. Looks pretty roomy in there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the tail cap back on. It's got very good lubrication on the threads, and to keep the O-ring nice and moist, prevent it from drying out. Okay, so now that the tail cap is back on, going through as you can see here, this is the brightness level indicator, and this is the battery level indicator. So when I turn it on, you can see that this is the second stage, and it goes off really quick. But here you can see there's three dots indicating actually a pretty high charge rate. So I'm Yeah, they usually ship their batteries pretty low when for regulations, but this appears to be pretty high. So let's see what else comes in the box. And here we have charging cable and the manual. This charging cable can charge up to 2 amps, but it can also charge 1 amps and 1.5 amps, so you can charge some of your other lights with this as well. So one thing to notice is that when comparing the new Seeker 3 Pro to the Seeker 2 Pro, the Seeker 3 Pro is actually a little bit taller than the Seeker 2, which is kind of misleading since it comes in a smaller box. But maybe that's because it doesn't have the L mount. But this also does have one extra LED. The Seeker 2 had 3 LEDs. This one has 4, so you can see the difference. The Seeker 3 on the left, Seeker 2 on the right. Right. Now this light really isn't made to be a thrower, it's more of a floody light. Because despite the fact that it has 4200 lumens, which is a lot of output, the throw distance is only 250 meters. And you can tell it's made to be a floody light and not a thrower because of how shallow the reflectors are, and the fact that there's 4 LEDs instead of only 1. Now if you compare this to the Warrior X Turbo, this one is designed to be a thrower. It's not really designed for close proximity. It's designed to throw the light out for longer distances. Now, this Warrior X Turbo only has 1100 lumens, so it has like a quarter of the lumens that the Seeker 3 Pro has, yet it can throw the light 4 times the distance as the Seeker 3 Pro. Now, why is that? Well, it's because of the reflector. It's got a deep reflector and a single LED, so this is designed for maximum distance. Now, to prevent accidental battery drain, this light will automatically lock itself out after 30 seconds of being off. So after 30 seconds of being off, simply pressing the button will not turn on the light, but instead it'll light up the battery indicator. And to turn it on, you just rotate this dial 90 degrees until you see lights coming on, and then you can turn on the light. So now, to adjust the brightness levels, you can either hold down the button as you would on the previous Seeker 2 Pro and change it that way, and then it'll cycle through the different modes. Except for turbo. To get to turbo, you have to double click on it, and then you'll get your 4200 lumen output. This is really bright. Now, to use the rotary dial, the dimmer switch, you can have it on, and then you turn it counterclockwise to dim it, and then likewise you turn it clockwise to increase the brightness. Now, as you increase or decrease the brightness, you'll notice the level indicator also changes. All right, well, enough talk. Let's take it outside and check out the performance. So for some added context, this is what the environment is going to be looking like that we're going to be dealing with outside. So as you can see, there are 2 sets of electrical towers. This is the first one, the close one right here, and then this is going to be the further away one. Now I was able to take some measurements using a rangefinder, and so the close one from where I'm standing is going to be 171 yards. and then the further one, the further set is going to be about 331 yards. So just to give you some context for when we go outside. Alright guys, so I'm out here with the Seeker 3 Pro. You go ahead and turn this thing on. Start off on low. You can see the indicator. It's got one dot on it. So this is more for up close kind of stuff. If we bump it up, 2 dots, so this is like level 2. Bump it up some more. Level 3, as you can see. Now, in order to get to turbo, you have to double click. So even from off, I'm going to double click. This is turbo. So as you can see, it lights up a whole lot of area. There's a lot of output, 4200 lumens. So this thing's going to get pretty hot pretty soon. But it still makes it out there quite a bit. It makes it out to 170 yards. The tower's out there. But it doesn't do much beyond that. Yeah, it lights up a whole lot of area. So now I'm gonna turn it on to moonlight mode. And I'm gonna slowly ramp it up using the dimmer switch. And then we have this is on high. So from here we can double click and get to turbo. This is turbo. I'm gonna zoom out here so you can get it kind of an idea how much area it's lighting up. Yep. And then we have it. That's the Seeker 3 Pro. If you like this kind of content, give me a follow, give me a like. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.